you have your throat. You have never really try to attack or defend yourself by beating on a person's chest. How many of us have seen those movies where the woman is just beating away? Well, the strongest part of a man's body is his chest. And so you can beat till the cows come home, and he's throwing you over the shoulder and dragging you off like a caveman. So never the chest. We have the stomach. We call it the stomach, but it's not the stomach. It's this area right here. Have you ever been struck right here where you can't breathe? Yes, the diaphragm, but yes, but the xiphoid. It's a little bone right here in the solar plexus, and there's a little bone right there that when you strike here, it knocks all the wind out of you. But there's a little bone right there that if you strike and it chips that bone travels through your bloodstream and can actually cause a lot of damage. So that's definitely a universal place. That's also what we use for the Heimlich maneuver. Okay? So the solar plexus. You have the groin, and we all know about the groin. And trust me when I tell you that most of the attackers that you're dealing with, they know about the groin too. All right? You have your knees, never your thighs. Your knees, you've got the shin, you've got the instep on your foot where your laces are on your shoes. Okay? Those are your vulnerable target areas. Now, there are many different ways of striking at vulnerable target areas. But today, I'm just going to go through a few strikes in vulnerable target areas that will help you escape an attacker. Okay? The rest of it, you guys will have to come see me and spend some time with me so you can learn how to avoid having to even deal with vulnerable target areas, because that's really important. Lots of times we go places and people say, oh, well, that's so violent, and you shouldn't preach violence. But I want to say that it's violent, it's in response to violence for your own personal safety. It's not go out there and vigilante, I find, a domestic abuser over there, I'm going to go and do some self-defense on him. And it has nothing, it is not like that. So it is in self-defense. Even America retaliates when we are attacked overseas. So self-defense, and we should all have that right. Unfortunately, the way our laws are set up right now, many times you have to be very careful about self-defense or you end up in jail. However, I must say that I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, okay? So I'm going to give a few strikes to some vulnerable target areas. Everybody raise their hands. Say hi. Hi. Now, on your hands, a very important part of your hands, probably the strongest part of your hand is the palm heel. Now, a lot of times, you'll see people fighting. Now, a man will come, he's like this, he's all big fist coming, and you think you're going to fight this fight. You're not going to fight this fight. Your fists are not going to do what his fists are. Put your palm heel. Everybody put your palm heel up. This is what you're going to use to strike. Okay? The first area that I'm just going to show today is the nose. Okay? In striking the nose, a person, let's say someone is coming up on you, and you're going to just strike. Nose! Nose! Straight up. Straight up. That's going to strike the nose. Nose! Nose! And you're not going to pop it like that. Oh, God! Oh, God! You're going to strike the nose. Straight nose. If you try to make the nose come out the top. Okay? You have to remember that your life is priority. You only have one. And I don't care who the attacker is. If it's your husband, if it's an uncle, a cousin, if it's your own son. Your life is priority. So I want everybody we're going to strike the nose, and when you strike the nose, you're going to say nose, nose. Now, I do this with 2 hands because let's say you go to strike the nose, and their quick reflexes, makes them move out of the way, and you just miss. They're never expecting that second hand.
Right.
So use both hands, okay? And this does not require a lot of strength. It just requires commitment and conviction, okay? All right, so here we go.
Come on.
When I call nose, everybody's gonna strike. Nose, 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 nose. All right, again, nose, nose. Now, I want you to know that whenever you're doing these things, even in just practice, and it's myself, oh, this is so silly, but even in practice, always assume that your attacker is larger than you. It is hard to imagine that someone smaller than you is going to be trying to attack you and do all kinds of things to you, and you're like, what, are you serious? Unless they walk up with a weapon. Other than that, imagine your attacker is always larger than you. Okay? So now that's nose. The next thing, oh, I forgot one on your head, your temple. Okay? The next thing we're going to strike is the temple. And this is with an elbow. Okay? So now. You look like
She's feeling it.
Okay, the next thing is to strike on the temple. With the temple, you're going to come around temple. This part of your elbow, right on that bone. Okay? Again, stronger than your fist is going to hit the side of the head, temple, and then when the person reacts to that, you're going to come back, temple. So it's going to look like temple, 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 temple. Okay? Remember, if you were to get in some kind of altercation, do not try to fight with your fist and punch a person out. It's highly unlikely. But your elbow, palm heel. Okay, so when I say temple, we're all going to do temple, 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 temple. We got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Temple, 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 temple. Now, it's throwing that temple, throwing that elbow more than it is throwing that fist, okay? So I want to see the elbow come up, elbow come up. So, now what do we have? We have nose, nose, nose. We have temple, 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 temple. Okay, we're getting there. The next thing is we have the ears. Remember I mentioned take the ears out. There's an equilibrium problem. Gives you time to get away. Call 911 unless you feel like, oh yeah, you were trying to hurt me and now you can't stand up good. Maybe I'm gonna call 911 in a minute. Okay. So the next thing is the ears. You ever had a child with a really bad cold, got all that mucus come up, and you the back with the cupped hand, so it causes that suction, it breaks up that mucus. It's the same thing with the ears. You take your hands, cup them, and smack both ears. That air pocket and the pressure when you do that causes the eardrums to burst. So that's what causes, of course, the equilibrium goes. You're like, oh my God, we've got what they call vertigo. Certainly, while an assailant is dealing with that, you could be able to get away. Okay? So when we do ears, we're just going to go ears like that. Clap our hands like that. Now, we're not going to stop there because I need you guys to always keep in mind that someone was trying to injure you. They were trying to injure you. Okay? And people have to think, I don't think I'll ever try to do that to her again. You want people to think, I will never do that to her again. If that person is a certain type of person, they will try that with someone else, whatever it is. But your concern is you, and you don't want that to happen to you ever again with that person. So, when you, the ears, then you grab them and you take your hands and you grab the ears and you twist around. You twist around. Your nails, if they're digging into the back of that person's ear, yeah, that hurts. And so when they start screaming, oh, don't say, okay. That's what you want to happen. Keep doing it. Okay? It's like in school, when you tell your kids, you send them off to school and you say, don't fight, tell the teacher, tell somebody, and they've gone through all the channels and nothing's happening, and now this kid, they're being bullied and somebody's come every day, they're getting in fights and they're trying not to fight and they come home, beat up every day. Eventually you get to the point of, listen, I'm coming down to the school, and in the meantime, if this happens, whatever somebody does to you, you do that back to them 10 times over. And the next time they see you, the thought process will be, well, I don't know, it's a lot of trouble. Even if they beat you up, which they're beating you up without you fighting back anyway, at least they'll think, that's too much work. And next thing you know, they'll move on to someone else. It's really, it's violent, but it's a violence that is acceptable because you need to live. And you're defending yourself. At all costs, defending yourself. Okay, so now we have ears, nose, and temple. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, because it's just way too much to go through everything, but here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call it out, and then you're going to do it. So before we do that, let's all practice ears, okay? Okay. Don't do it to yourself. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up. And when I call it out, we're gonna do what I call, okay? So, nose, temple, ears. Nose, ears. Okay. Now I'm not going to put you guys through much more than that today. Okay, because that's enough. I just want you to get a taste of some self-defense, because I think it's important. And it's funny because, growing up, I didn't, my parents argued, but I didn't really suffer through domestic violence and things of that nature. But I always had kind of a militant attitude about this. Oh, this happened to me, this, that, the other. And as I have gotten older, let me tell you, I think God puts people together for a reason. And He put me with Master Linda for a reason. Because she needed to train me to do some things. Because I'm a very calm, patient, tolerant person, probably beyond what I'm supposed to be. So I will deal with certain things in my options and choices. I will deal with certain things until I get to the point where enough is enough. Physical violence, I just cannot do it. I can't deal with that. There's no tolerance for that for me. So techniques like this that don't require me to do a lot of fighting or having a big strength to do them are perfect, because if I come across that situation, I can stay safe. I can get free. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do in physical self-defense. Everyone can have their seats. And before it kind of expresses what domestic violence victims feel as they go through. The name of the poem is "We Open Our Hearts So Freely." We open our hearts so freely, we surrender our all. But when the bruises show, we pretend it's just a fall. We allow it to continue each and every day. We scream silent cries for help, but no one hears, no one sees, no one says. Even when we wince in pain, we think it could be better. Deep down, we know it can't. To them, we do not matter.
Each and every day we live in fear, could this be our last? In front of others, we joke and laugh as not to show our past. We fear in life, we fear in death, but which of the two evils are better? We are tormented in both, so it really doesn't matter. All I want is to love and be loved. Is that too much to ask? But every time I find it, it becomes an impossible task. I look all around me and I see it all there. Couples so much in love is more than I can bear. I feel so alone, although friends are all around. I open my mouth to tell them, but nothing comes out, not a sound. Never used to have this trouble of saying what needed to be said. Perhaps this man has changed me by the living in fear and dread.
So with that, I'm going to say two things, and that is love is not saying I'm sorry with flowers. Love is saying I'm sorry with change. So we said make the change and give life a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was a great warm-up. I have a lot of questions for you, Stephanie. So we're going to continue. I'm going to invite Sally Nichols. Okay. She has some information, some material that she's distributing at this time. But I'm going to invite Sally Nichols at this time to come up. And once they're presented, I'm going to invite all our guests up front so we can have a question and answer moment so that we can all share. Sally, welcome.
Thank you so much. First, I want to say thank you to you for Patricia Kerr for making this happen, because to put domestic violence, front and center. I mean, you, Stephanie, thank you so much. Stephanie gave some of the statistics, right? So we know this is an epidemic, but we also know that we don't really deal with it. You know, that it's really still silent. So for you to put it on this front burner and South Central is, I'm so thankful for that. And I thank all of you for being here and for supporting it, because you could have an incredible impact on this issue. Every single one of us can become an activist in this issue and learn about it and change it and prevent it. You know, so we all have that power. So thank you so much. And I would really like to have people introduce themselves before we go further. And if you have a burning question, not a long question, but if you have something, a burning question, or should we just do introductions and wait for the questions? But if something's really on your heart and you want to talk about that, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elsie Marion, and I'm here with Judith Richburg Kim. And so I don't have the situation, I don't have the problem, but I can, but I'm glad I can because I learned something. So I'm back with you.
Good morning. My name is Marie Goldman. I'm with Shinda Management. I'm a social worker there. And I received an email to Bronx Link, and I put my supervisor with me. I wanted to find out more about domestic violence so I could help my tenants. And that's that.
Good morning, my name is Marla Medina. I work for Shinda Management. Marie actually invited me. I'm a manager, and as a manager, I see domestic violence every single day. And to the point where one of my tenants was actually murdered by her husband. So we want to get some information on how can we get the word out there, what can we do? We see it, but what is talk to the tenants, we let them know, but a lot of them are not, they're not comfortable, or they don't, they don't really do anything because, as it was said, it'll get better. So this is really important for me.
Good morning, I'm Reverend Judy Richford, and I am here in support of NCNW and my sisters in the community, as well as my brothers. So happy to see everyone here this morning to join the conversation. I want to say radically domestic.
Good morning. I'm Marion McCormick. I'm a member of the NCNW. I like what you did. I'm learning something similar to that at the Rain Center. Our instructor is teaching us how to defend ourselves. And I'd like to join your organization.
Good morning, my name is Lacey Britton. I am a member of the National Council of Member Women. I am here to become more aware of domestic violence and to educate others in the community. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Priscilla Tavares. I'm the program coordinator for the Bronx District Attorney's Office Crime Victims Unit. We have the agency located here at 229th and White Plains Road. We have a satellite office to cater to the northern part section of the Bronx. And I think this is very important. I want to thank you for having me here today. I think getting this information out there to the community is very important. Domestic violence is one of the most common cases seen at our office. And today I brought some literature at our information table, so feel free to stop by to take some of the information, or to feel free to ask me any questions about the services that we provide for the community, free of charge, in regards to supportive services, therapy services, and preventive services for victims of domestic violence and all types of crime. So thank you for having me.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Leon Dixon. I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for about 30 years. I've been a counselor for about 40 years, a drug counselor. When I first entered the drug counseling field, I thought that I was going to help to end drugs. Okay, that's what I thought 40 years ago. So I've been around for a long time, and I'm interested in domestic violence, not only because I've been daughters who are wrong, but because I've been around a long time. And I think that in terms of going forward, I'm more into self-disclosure at this point. I've been around, I don't have that much to hide. So if I'm going to be part of this, I like to talk about the part that I had to grow.
Outreaching to people.
Okay, I think we need more self-disclosure from those of us who are going to be in the helping field. Because in social work, we're taught not to disclose. In other words, self-disclosure is frowned upon in the field of social work. And I think when we come to areas like this, I could be talking to you now and abusing my wife. Okay, in other words, I can have a position, okay, in the movement and still abusing people. Okay, so it's time for us guys to step up, okay, and say, we're gonna help out, and let's, talk about our progression.
And I was just
to where my daughter, my little girl, said to me about 3 weeks ago,
my sister
Daddy,
invited me to come
enjoy how
along.
you treat my mother.
And
She didn't say my wife, my mother. Now that was beautiful. Okay, but I'm 67 years old.
And maybe
I grew up in an era
some information
where if I
to
saw
help
a
them,
man spanking
because
his
there's
wife,
abuse all over.
she's getting what she deserved.
bless him.
He's taking care of
Let's be
business.
here.
Okay, so I grew up out of that area. Remember I Love Lucy? I Love Lucy. Okay, we get spankings at the end of the show by Ricky. Okay, I grew up in that area, so I don't want to take too much time, but I'm so happy to be part of this because I think I have a lot to offer, just because I've been around. Okay, and I really enjoy being here this morning.
And you have a lot to offer because not many men have their daughters say that to them. I don't think so.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joyce Davis, and I am here because I am a seminarian, and my work is with Connect. Reverend Dr. Sally McNichol is my supervised ministry person, responsible to support the group and to outreach to the community. And I'm more looking at faith-based, because people really don't understand what's happening. Maybe some of you do, but others really don't understand the magnitude of domestic violence in our churches. From the pulpit, through the ushers, through the deacons, all throughout the church. So I'm outreaching to people, and I am really happy that I'm involved because I have learned so much. And Reverend Dr. Sally, you're awesome.
Good morning, everybody. I am here, I'm a visitor to New York, formerly a resident, relocated to Alabama, my hometown. And I was just so happy to be up here, and my friend, my sister invited me to come along. And I'm a member of Walker Memorial, Patricia Kerr, we all sisters. And maybe I can take back some information to Alabama because there's abuse all over. So God bless everybody, glad to be here.
Thanks for watching Carol's Journey TV. Now grab a pencil and paper and take down some of these important resources that are on the screen. Remember, domestic violence is not just physical, it can also be mental. Let's put an end to domestic violence. Tune in again next week as we continue to explore this important topic.